Welcome guys to Lawn Care Tips and Tricks. Tonight we're going to be looking at my company and everything that led up to us actually losing that $200,000 in 9 months time. I know a lot of you guys have heard my story and have seen it on different channels, but I want to really jump into the things that I did to kind of, veer from my original startup of my business and the services that I was offering, and then also how I was able to pay this debt back and to get back on my feet and to get focused for 2020. Alright guys, so in 2010, I had a customer actually tell me that I was a jack of all trades and master of none, and this just really hit my ego. The reason it did is because I had spent a lot of time trying to grow a business model that had guys that specialize in different areas. Guys that were carpenters doing our decks and our pergolas and our arbors, guys that were stonemasons doing all of our rock work, hardscape guys doing our patios, landscape, lawn care crews, you name it. This was my focus out the door when I decided to do this full time in 2010, 2011. That's what I was doing. And this guy, said that thing and it just really hit my ego. I wish I would have known what was going to happen in 2017, 2018 with my business, looking back, so that I could have related the two together and to got a better focus with my company moving forward. I think if I would have done that, it would have saved me a lot of heartache. What happened was in 2010, it was more of a drive. I said, this is gonna fuel me. I'm gonna continue to push my business. I'm gonna continue to build my business. And that's what I did. And so leading up into 2017, we were doing really well. Company was super profitable. We had about 20 employees at the time, and we were really getting into, commercial concrete, swimming pools, really large outdoor living spaces, 6-figure plus. And that was always my goal as a business, is I wanted to do these really big projects. I just thought that they would make me look cooler. That's just being honest with you guys. And that's why I wanted to do it. It was all for my ego and from the outside looking in. And I did have a passion for these projects, but the more that I got into them, the more that I found there's so much stuff that can go wrong if they're not managed properly, that you can really lose money very quickly. And that's what happened. So what I did is I got into one of these big projects. I didn't have control of all my subcontractors, and I had some guys take some money and leave. Some different things happened. We started losing some money. To help out one of my buddies, I actually bought out his commercial concrete business, brought him in. That was just the start of this, downhill spiral effect. Our company grew from 17 to 20 employees to just over 30 employees, and we had 15 trucks and crews. We were running 5 different divisions of our company. I lost control of what my numbers were, what we were paying out daily. Even though we were selling a lot of jobs, making a lot of revenue, we didn't realize the bottom line that we were actually losing money daily in operations. Not only did I venture from when I built my business on lawn care and smaller landscape jobs, but then I also started to venture from that into these larger things. But on top of that, I didn't stay on top of my numbers and knowing, what everything was costing me. I just saw the money signs and all this money coming in each month, and things were covered. We actually, at that point, we had almost $100,000 in the bank. We were actually $70,000 upside down. And that's when I decided I put stop to everything. I told my sales team, no more selling. I told my guys, all hands on deck, we're gonna get these jobs finished, and I just want to get back to zero. As we started doing that, guys, a lot of things started to happen that we realized that we were actually further in the hole than what we realized. The next thing that hit us was some audits. We had an audit come in from the state on workers' comp. We had an audit come in from workforce labor. And each of those audits, they definitely found something that we hadn't done right in our business. One of the big hits was our workers' comp audit, where I hadn't changed my payroll when it jumped from 17 to 32 employees. I hadn't changed how much we were paying in, and there were different codes that came in and hit us for commercial concrete. Before I knew it, we had a $16,000 audit that I was having to pay in. And so all of these things just really started to build, guys. Before we knew it, we were $200,000, just over $200,000 upside down. I had to put together a game plan. I really, through this whole time, guys, I was praying. I was like, God, what good can come of this? What good can come of my business failing? What good can come of this deficit? It just feels like so much stress. What can I do to get out of this? Once I started just going back, God just kept kept telling me, like, don't abandon your first love. When I give you a vision for the company, it's for all times, not for just one time. I just really kept hitting home. So I went back to that, guys. I went back to what we did best. That was lawn care, smaller landscaping, doing hardscaping. That's $20,000 and less. And in 16 months time, guys, we paid back the deficit from about $212,000 to just over $10,000 that we owed. There were a few things that I had to do. I did have to go ahead and refinance my shop where I could cash in on the equity that I had for that, but everything else was made off of profits from our lawn care company that sustained my company through this time, and then our smaller landscape and hardscape projects. The great thing about these smaller landscape and hardscape projects is you're able to do them so quickly that you can get them done, collect on them, and then move to the next one. The thing about getting to projects that are up over the $20,000 to the $50,000, $70,000, $100,000, or even $300,000 projects is they take so much time, and like I said, they have so many areas within them that if they're not managed properly, you can really lose some money. And that's what happened to me. So I'm not saying it's right for all of you guys, but I know for a lot of you guys, you may be in the same boat as me. You're chasing these things for your ego. You're not focusing on what could really just make you money and be a lot less headache for yourself. That's why for 2020, my focus is back to my roots. It's back to lawn care. It's back to these smaller landscape and hardscape jobs. It's focusing on the margins. It's focusing on the efficiencies that we've had. And it's being able to do that and relate it back to you guys. You know, I just finished up the playbook, and it's actually a tangible book for you guys now that we're going to be releasing soon. And the great thing about it is it made me think about my business. What do I do best? You know, what are some services I shouldn't provide? These are things that we ask you right off the bat and that we were reflecting on with my own company. And the thing about that is I had to really take my own advice and to refocus for 2020 and say, hey, I'm not going to chase these larger projects anymore. I'm really going to focus on my company and how it can be the most profitable that it can be, staying at a smaller scale, about 12 employees or less. You know, if you're there and you're wanting to grow and expand and become really efficient with lawn care, if you're wanting to get into those $10,000 to $20,000 landscape and hardscape projects, I would love to help you with that and to just really figure out how to mimic the things that we've done. But more than anything, guys, that I can help to coach you through and not make the same mistakes that I made. Today's video is me being very transparent and very vulnerable with you, and I hope that you appreciate that because it's not easy to do. And I hope that you'll just really think about what I went through, and if you're going through something similar, just please swallow your pride and just really think about that before you have to experience the $200,000 deficit. Because like I said, through this whole time, I was asking God, what good can come of this? How can you be glorified? And I didn't realize until here very recently that it's so I can help you guys. So that God took me through that because he knew that I would be able to make it through that. But for more than anything, it wasn't for my own self or for my own gain within my business, but it was to be able to share with you guys so that you don't have to make that mistake. So guys, thank you so much for watching tonight's video. I really do appreciate you. I can't wait to continue to see what happens in 2020, not only with my own business, but to see everything. There's a lot of huge things that are happening, and I can't wait to share them with you. So guys, thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see you next time on Lawn Care Tips and Tricks.